All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Today is the day where I discuss the E-Ray once again. I haven't been posting much content on the E-Ray, but it's been so much fun and I am enjoying this thing. I've been going to a lot of shows, really, so that's why I haven't posted much on the car. I've been driving it, man. I've been getting it out there, and I've been enjoying it. The ceramic that I did is holding up good, no issues whatsoever. The car is doing phenomenal. In that front end, my radiator grill guards, no problems whatsoever. Nothing going on with those. They're holding up great. Remember, I had the dealer install those. That's really the only thing aftermarket besides that I've done to this car. I don't see the need to really do anything to the E-Ray. I think the E-Ray is beautiful as it sits. I mean, there's just so much to like about this car. Now, if you remember, initially this was not my spec. My color is red mist metallic. That is my favorite color on a car in general at this point. And I really was going to spec this one that way. But when I had the opportunity to buy one and not wait anymore after a year and almost a year and 3 to 4 months, I jumped on it. So if you're new here, I got this car at MSRP. It was 122,000. I bought it in Killeen, Texas, sitting on the showroom floor. It's been sitting there for about 5 days, I think they said, and I went down and scooped it up with no markup. Um, and that was my main driver for grabbing one sooner than later instead of waiting on my spec, because I still had my allocation and I really was going to enjoy that allocation because they called me about 3 weeks after I bought this one. And he was just so in shock that I actually had one. It's like he didn't believe me. But I was like, yeah, I got one. Because these are hard to get in some. Well, when I bought mine, it was really hard to get, and there's a lot of markup on it. Right now, there are still people saying that they're being forced with markup, or trying to get to pay markup. Don't do it, folks. We can control the market by not paying over just for a depreciating asset, because this is a depreciating asset. So the car's been doing great, man. Believe it or not, I actually have 1,900 miles on this car. I have been really having a lot of fun with it and enjoying it. Taking the top off more. It's just so hot here. I don't really like to take the top off much. But when you have the top off, just so you know, if you have your top off and you go into a store or something like that, everything in the car locks. As long as it's not like, even if it's sitting in the seat and someone touches something inside the car when they reach inside, the alarm is going to sound. If the slightest bump in the interior with the windows down and the top off, or just the top off or whatever, it will beep and the horn will sound and the security system will alert you. And you should get it on your phone. But nonetheless, I don't leave my car outside, and I don't typically go in the store for a long period of time and have the top off or the windows down. But the car with 1,900 miles is running like a champ, man. No warning lights, no nothing. Only thing I've had is that same old issue with the button in the interior, and that's something that I could probably fix myself. But I'm really enjoying this car, man. So over the last almost 2,000 miles and several months of owning this car, basically what I've run into is Stingray owners questioning whether or not they should buy one, or people who don't have a Corvette yet, C8 yet, and they're interested in the E-Ray, but they're concerned about the price. And then, there's a lot of Z06 owners that feel some type of way about this car for some reason. I just don't understand why. I love the Z06. And when I'm in person and I see a person who has a Z06, because there's Z06s everywhere. They're everywhere. The Z06 was out first. It was in the 23 model for the C8 lineup, and it came first into production, and then this E-Ray came. And all I can say is that the majority of the Z06 owners that I meet are really nice. I mean, they don't feel any type of way. This thing is crazy, right? Gosh, this thing is just so sick. It just screams supercar, luxury. So nice. I don't know why a person, side note, I don't know why a person would spend 3 or 4 times the amount, like on a Lamborghini. Sorry about my finger bending. About a Lamborghini or all these other cars, paying two and three, $400,000, and they're still getting beat by the C8 lineup in a lot of ways, like performance, everything. But nonetheless, I don't know. Maybe that's just the USA in me. I don't think I can give Lamborghini or Ferrari or any of them any money as long as the ZR1 exists, as long as the E-Ray exists, as long as the Z06 exists. I just don't think I can do it. But nonetheless, I've run into a lot of Z06 owners in person, and a lot of them are really nice. But there are some that you meet in person, and they're just so caught up on this car doesn't belong. It'll never be a Z06. And I met one guy in person recently, and he was kind of a jerk for no reason. He just started telling me what I should do to my car. You need to lower it. You need to do all this stuff. And I was like, nah, man, that's what you did to your car. You have a Z06. He was like, you have front lift. I was like, yeah, I got front lift. But there's a lot of options in this car that I personally wouldn't have done. But now that I have the front lift and the 2LZ package, it's definitely worth it in comparison to what I had before with the 1LT. But nonetheless, you pay for that at a premium price. But some Z06 owners that I've met, the majority of them are super nice. I mean, like 99% of them are very, very nice. They're just nice, man. They don't have anything bad to say about the E-Ray. They're more intrigued by it because they're like, where? Let me see the electric motor. I'm like, well, you can't see, and that's where the knowledge comes in. I'm like, well, you can't see the electric motors. They said, well, you don't have a frunk. I was like, man, they didn't do any research on this car. Yeah, I totally have a frunk. And then when I showed them my frunk, they're like, whoa, you got the same space I got. I'm like, yeah. So I think it's just more about education when it comes to things. And look, I'm new to this car as well, man. I bought it a few months ago, and I'm new to it as well. So I'm not like this E-Ray expert. But what I can do is read. I can read. If I can read up on the Z06 and the Stingray and the ZR1, I can read up on the E-Ray. And there's still a lot of people that are confused or whether or not whether it's an E-Ray or not. They don't notice that. Yeah, they don't notice that E-Ray logo. And they just look at the body of the car and they instantly think Z06. And then some people just don't know what it is. They really don't. They don't know what it is. But I feel like the Z06 owners who don't like this car, and then there's some Z06 owners say, oh, this is a downgrade if I go to an E-Ray. Like, okay, all right, man. And they're like, I don't care about 0 to 60 times. That's just all a lie, man. I just think that's bogus. That's bullcrap. You care about 0 to 60 times because when the Z06 came out, everyone was so excited at how fast it was 0 to 60. But I think more important now is 60 to 130. Those are some important times. Now, anyway, I'm not here to beat up on the rude Z06 owners. I'm here to, say, hey, congratulations on your Z06. Still, once again, I'm not the type of guy. I just think the E-Ray is the better Corvette of the two. It's more versatile, man. It may have a 0 to 60 time that's faster. It may be faster in a quarter mile. But one myth I have to keep putting to rest is that you lose power at 120 miles an hour. I don't know who, I think Haggerty said that one time in their video or something like that, the power drops off or something like that. And then people, that's something that a lot of Z06 owners just keep saying out loud like it's true, but it's not. I don't lose the electric power at 120 miles an hour, folks. That would be stupid for GM to do that. This is a performance car. So why would they take away the front engine power at 120 miles an hour? That's dumb. It does not. Yeah. And that's coming from people who don't own the car. That's just people, those hater Z06 people who are just reading online or saying what somebody else said. That's all that is, folks. I can't stress enough. This car does not lose power at 120 miles an hour. That's the stupidest thing. The front motors do not turn off at all. You'll always have all-wheel drive capabilities. When the batteries deplete, also they were saying, oh, the batteries run out after you run it to I don't know what that's about, man. If you track this car, it's already been tracked, and you can do roughly 3 to 5 laps, and then the battery will need to be recharged. Period. I own the car, so it's weird to hear people telling me about the car that don't own it, and all they do is read up on it. So the way I combat that is I take Z06 owners for a ride who might feel some type of way. I've done it 3 times already, and every last one of them, mine was changed. They all got out of the car and said, GM's lying about this car. They all did. These are Z06 owners. They all said the same thing. GM is lying about this car's power. Period. That's what they're saying, not me. And when I said, man, I've hit I hit 180 on the front end alone, and I've seen people hit 200 on the front end alone for the power horsepower. So And I've seen one of these. Jesse did his. He dynoed his about a month ago. But you know, dyno jets are you know, they're all different. So he dynoed his at 672 torque and 569 or something like that horsepower, which is kind of strange. You would think it'd have more horsepower than torque, but it dynoed that way. But nonetheless, you know, I just think it's strange that, you know, so many people are intrigued by this car, but they just won't give in to the fact that it has an electric front end. But remember when the C8 dropped, it was more of a, oh my God, you know, I can't believe they're trying to be like Ferrari. Some of the best parts about being a E-Ray owner is I get that right there. I get that. I get that same Stingray engine. I got my helmet. I had to get a helmet because this is my Instagram for my Tesla Model S Plaid. And then here's the Corvette one. But I don't know, man. I'm happy. After it's so crazy. After all the car shows I go to, it's so hot out here where I live at. I just keep a clean Corvette shirt in here at all times. It's crazy, right? But yeah, anyway, I'm happy that I was able to snag this E-Ray at MSRP. And, you know, I was honest. I said, you know, it has stuff on here that I would not have gotten. I wouldn't have done that appearance package and all that stuff. I wouldn't have done this black and red interior, obviously, because the car wouldn't have done black or, excuse me, carbon flash metallic. But I'm happy with it. I like how big these wheels are in the back. I love the carbon ceramic brakes are standard. There's a lot about this car that I think is what make a lot of Stingray owners happy. I don't think a lot of Stingray owners understand that it's more than just a performance upgrade. So I was in the forums today. I'm in the forums as well, obviously, folks. E all-wheel drive, or EAWD, is my name in the forums. Almost any Corvette forum is going to be EAWD for electric all-wheel drive Corvette or whatever. It's going to be this portion right here. Just those 4 letters right there in the forums, if you want to follow me there. And I'm just happy that I was able to get one of these, and I'm just ecstatic that, because some Stingray owners, I've heard some of them say that it's just a performance upgrade. It's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than just going faster by a little bit. This is a night and day experience from the Stingray, because it has the wide body kit on here, just like the Z06. It has all the upgrades that you can think of for performance that a Stingray owner would probably want. The carbon ceramic brakes, the bigger wheels. I got 20s on the front and 21s on the rear. And this is a 13-inch wheel, folks. This is nuts. It is nuts. And it just hooks and books. It just goes. Like, there's slippage sometimes, but I've not officially dragged this car yet. I haven't officially took it to the track yet. And I can't take it to San Antonio because they closed that track, man. They closed it down. So be sure to follow me here. Yeah. Just grab me a nice little cheap helmet just to have, just in case. But yeah, man. They closed the San Antonio track. I haven't been out there in years. Last car I took out there was my 2013 1LE Camaro. Love that car, 6-speed. Oof, it was fast, man. But they're gonna start mowing lawn over here, so I'm gonna get out of here. But I gotta tell you, I wanted to stop for a second. It's gonna rain today, so I wanted to bring the car out and just kind of give you an update on the car, man. 1,900 miles, still running into the typical E-Ray owner's experience. If you're an E-Ray owner, you gotta let me know, what's it been like when you run into Stingray owners and C8 owner, like Stingray owners and Z06 owners, and just other Corvette owners. What's it been like for you? Because for me, it's been genuinely about 99.99999%, 100% positive vibes. Yeah, but you got to have those few out there that just, is this what it is? I actually like to engage with them more. Unfortunately, you know how it is. We engage with, like, you can have one bad thing happen and it'll just kind of haunt you for a little bit, or it'll be on your mind a lot. When I'm at a show or something like that, and then I do run into someone who just feels some type of way and they're adamant about voicing it out loud, I'm not offended by it. I actually like to engage with them to see why they've come to that conclusion and why they think the Z06 is so much better. This is a weird conversation to have because I told the last person I talked to, I said, hey man, the reality is we're on the same team. You have a sweet car, I have a nice car as well. Let's just play fair. Let's, you know, but I also told him, I said, if you want to line them up and run them, we can definitely do that too. If you think my horsepower drops off at 120, he didn't want to. He didn't want to. Of course, he didn't want to. He just wanted to sit back and talk. Because I don't mind if I lose a race per se. I've lost many races in cars when I've raced back in the day. But when you're lining up on a track or you're lining up on a back road or, you know, you're somewhere where it's completely clear and you can actually open them up past the quarter mile, because that's what a lot of people want to see. They want to see this car go past the quarter mile and see what happens with the Z06. It's not going to be like what you think, folks. A lot of people just feel like this car is just going to get walked down after the quarter mile. But what you fail to realize is that by the time this car gets to a quarter mile, the Z06 is still 4 to 5 car lengths back, and it has to play catch up while this car is not losing power. And I'll end on that note. If you're in Austin, Texas, and you want to line it up, leave a comment down below. If you got a Z06, we'll take them to a back road, or we'll find a track, or we'll get somewhere and we'll run them. We'll run them and we'll record it, and we'll put it online. But there's plenty of people that, I think there's 2 people that already put one online. C8 Nate, he has problems with his channel. He actually raced his with a Z06, and he beat the Z06 pretty much in every race. But I think they were kind of like wishy-washy on with that one race. But, you know, they didn't run them past a certain amount, and, you know, I don't know. But nonetheless, the E-Ray was faster in every way. So, ironically enough, I was at the dealer the other day, and I was looking at they had a red mist metallic Z06, and I really wanted to buy it and park it next to this one. Yeah, I know I just paid 130 cash for this one out the door with taxes and everything, but I really like the Z06, and it was red mist metallic too. So that was kind of a, all right, let me get out of here, man, because these guys they're right behind me cutting the grass. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed a quick follow-up, and it's time to go for a ride before I put it back in the garage. Let's get it.